Week 3 of the Smogon Summer Seasonal Draft League has passed. And this week, just like last week, was even crazier than last one. This one was absolutely fucking insane. So, if you haven't seen the past weeks, I recommend going to see those. At the very least, week 1 first, so that you know the general idea of my team. But with that said, I'm actually going to jump right into the matchup. So, my opponent, Noah Aloha, has a very scary looking rain team with Terra Captain Ogrepon Wellspring, Iron Treads, Archaludon, Raging Bolt, Barraskewda, Pelipper, Terra Captain Golduck, and Espeon. Um, this is like very like Ogrepon, Treads, Archaludon, Pelipper, Barraskewda, and even Bolt. Like this is super classic um, rain in Gen 9 OU. The only thing is like maybe Zapdos over Bolt, but like even then, Bolt gets the job done quite well. And like week 1, Bolt very scary into this team. Um, Ogrepon can also Ogrepon has decent checks like RILLABOOM, resisting its hits, Sneasler being faster and killing with Third Claw, and then Sinisha being fat, able to eat its hits too, and then even like Terragarg with like a grass typing can wall it. Iron Treads is not very threatening offensively, but is annoying as a spinner. Although Sinistra can definitely block it because it resists its EQs and it blocks Rapid Spin. Although Ice Spinner is something you kind of have to worry about, which there would always be teching in a matchup like this, especially with a Rillaboom. Archaludon is easily the biggest threat on this team. There's really zero way to switch into this guy. Electro Shot, Flash Cannon, Body Press, Draco. That set is completely devastating, especially with an AV, which makes it harder to kill. You just set up, you just get the Electro Shot shooting, and you just steamroll over your opponent. That's why this guy's broken and banned. Raging Bolt, similar case in episode 1, can just be very, very difficult to switch into, and can set up Calm Minds and start sweeping. Barraskewda is pretty handleable, especially with like a Rillaboom. Just absolutely murking it, revenge killing it, and same with Shinisha. Pretty much the same case as Ogrepon, except it's actually worse. Pelipper is obviously the standard rain setter. Golduck, Terra Captain can be a bit of a problem, especially if its Terra type is something that resists Rillaboom, like Poison or Steel. Definitely wouldn't run Fire on a rain team though, because then you can't really take advantage of Terra Blast that well. But definitely a problem on. And then Espeon can be there to magic bounce shit like rocks. Kind of like a niche pick, I think, but can definitely deter stuff like hazards and change the matchup that way. So for my team, first pick, of course, the all-powerful Chi-Yu choice specs and modest this time because the difference between 299 speed and 299 and 328 is doesn't matter in this. Nothing outspeeds us if we go modest over timid. So we've run modest. Dark Pulse just shreds literally anything in this matchup. Nothing can niv 2 hits from it unless you're like some insanely niche max HP, max BDF, assault vest, random set. We're running Dark Pulse, and then we're also running Snarl in the off chance I need to Snarl something like Raging Bolt, setting up Calm Minds, or a Archaludon setting up Electric Shots. And we don't really need fire moves in this matchup at all, but I ran Overheat in the very off chance that like I'm in against Archaludon, Rain's not up, and I just need to absolutely nuke it if it's Assault Vest. So that's really the only reason this is on. And then I didn't have much purpose for a fourth move, so I threw on Sunny Day in case emergency I need to get rid of the rain. Although even that is like risky because it would give Raging Bolt photosynthesis, but just in case, never know. Next pick in the title, Choice Band Rillaboom finally debuts. No more Assault Vest. Rillaboom running its very standard set, Grassy Glide, Woodhammer, U-Turn, and then high horsepower for the Archaludon and the Raging Bolt. Great coverage to hit those, And then pretty standard shit. It's gonna come in. It's gonna create grassy glide, and it's gonna threaten the rain, the water types. Sneasler, going for a very unique set. No more on burden, grassy seed sweeping because I thought Barraskewda could probably like it being faster in rain still makes it like not as good. It's not able to just completely outspeed everything like it usually does. And also, what I really wanted at Caesar is toxic spikes. If I get a toxic spike up, I can start chipping away at Raging Bolt, which makes it way easier to handle. And so that's pretty much the inspiration behind this set. Focus Sash to like live a hit on like lead. What's his name? Iron Treads. Live the Earthquake. Kill it back with close combat, and also we can bluff and burn that way, um, which could potentially be useful. Although Caesar's pretty fast anyway, so I don't know how much use it really would have. Ran Poison Touch and Fake Out in case I need to fake out the Swift Swimmers, stall turn or rain, get some chip, and then maybe even poison them, uh, which could be the difference between getting a kill and not getting kill. Dire Claw in close combat, obviously just for standard stab, and then this EV set, 144 to outspeed Treads without booster, and then max attack, and then the rest into HP. Primarina, we have the Custap Berry with Surf, Moonblast, Endure, and Encore. Surf and Moonblast pretty self-explanatory. Endure to get that Custap Berry off, and then I didn't really have a whole lot of usage for a fourth move, so I threw in like Encore just in case like we're in against Raging Bolt and we can use the Custap Berry to Encore the Thunderclap as they try to block my Custap. Like it's a pretty niche interaction. I didn't really expect it to come in, but I thought, hey, might as well throw it in there just in case. And then for our first Terra Captain here, Garganackle, we're running Grass, which is very important over Water because it allows us to wall both of Ogerpon's stabs. It allows us to wall Raging Bolt, Thunderbolt, and also it helps us take like EQ from our not Archaudon, but what's his stupid name? Iron Treads. I don't know why I keep forgetting his name. Also, lets us resist Electroshock from the Archaudon. So pretty good Terra type for Garganackle here. I went max defense, max HP for the Ogerpon to help us in that matchup as much as possible. Also Barraskewda. Sinisha, we are bringing back the Max Spadef set from week 1 with, actually I think this is literally the exact same set, so leftovers, Magic Shadow Ball, Calm Mind, Strength Sap, Terra type Fairy instead of Poison, that way. I had no plans to Terra Sinisha, but in the off chance that we need it for the Raging Bolt endgame, I threw it on there for Terra Fairy. And so, yeah, that is the team for this week. I have a lot of strength. Like I said, Chiyu can get in there, get a kill, probably before I stack it to whatever range kills it. And then RILLABOOM are very strong priority. Sneasler setting up T-Spike could be very crucial to getting chip on the team. And then Prim is just kind of like a trade mon here. I had the option between Donphan and Registeel, and I thought Donphan would be super useless. And then I didn't bring Registeel for pretty much the same reason I always don't bring it, because it's passive as hell. A Max Spadef set could have maybe been good for like Archaudon and Raging Bolt and Ice Seismic Toss, but like, I don't know. I always just end up going with other Pokemon because I think they're stronger. So, yeah, that's the team, and then we will jump right into the replay. So, at Team Preview, we see pretty much what we expect, except for the Espeon, which I wasn't really expecting that much. I was more so expecting Iron Treads, but I guess it makes sense because Iron Treads isn't really that great into this team, especially with Earthquake being weakened by like grassy terrain and shit like that. So they bring Espeon instead, but besides that, pretty much what we expect. I decided to lead Primarina, trying to catch the Pelipper, but or Espeon, but unfortunately they lead Ogerpon, so I switch immediately into Sinistcha and take a fucking shit ton from knockoff. Just horrible. So we're in a really bad spot here. Basically, just have to sack Sinistcha here. I could have gotten RILLABOOM there, but I didn't want to get my choice band knocked off, and also I didn't want to go Garg on them cudgeling here. So it's just a really shitty spot. Had to sack Sinistcha here. So instantly we're down an entire mon. We bring out Sneasler, who, by the way, incredible oversight on my end in the team building aspect. But if you remember the Sneasler set, we were only running 343 speed for treads, and we completely neglected to speed creep Ogerpon and Espeon. I don't know why this never crossed my mind. I was so busy thinking about the lead one matchup against treads that it just completely never crossed my mind. So pretty big error in team building here. But luckily they don't know that. So I go Sneasler on the Ogerpon, and they switch out into Pelipper, which takes pretty much nothing from Dark Claw, which makes me think it's pretty physically defensive, as they usually are. I do get the poison though with Poison Touch and set up a T-Spike luckily as they go into Golduck, which, since we're playing Terra Draft Preview, I know that this is Terra Poison, which is annoying because that means they can Terra it, switch out, and then switch back in to get rid of the T-Spike. I go into Prim here as they do Terra and Nasty Plot. I had to switch there because Terra Poison walls both my stabs, and I want Sneasler alive later. So I go into Prim here. I endure on the Terra Blast Poison and live on 1 so I can get my Cuss Up off. I end up going for Moonblast here, expecting a Ogerpon on Surf because Golduck gets super smoked by Torrent's Brain Boost and Surf. But they do not end up going Ogerpon. They end up going Archaludon instead, which pretty much works the same. I get the special attack drop too, which, now that I think about it, I just realized I never even noticed that in the game that I got the drop. So I could have gone Chiyu here because I calced before the match started, and Chiyu always lives a Draco Meteor at normal and a Electro Shot at +1. Just barely always lives, but it does because I have base 120 Spadef. Well, I actually end up just sacking here, which in hindsight, I probably could have kept the body. But I sack. So I go Chiyu now, and I get this Dark Pulse kill, which smokes Archaludon, even through a possible Swab Vest. I go back into Golduck as I switch into Sneasler here on Terra Blast. And, wow, I just realized they Terra Blasted. They should have surfed. I feel like Terra Blast is insane there. I could have stayed in Dark Pulse, but obviously I thought they would surf. So, it's whatever. Anyway, they switch into Pelipper here. As I click Dark Claw, and then it puts into a KO range. I think dies the 1 turn of Toxic, so they just end up sacking it. So now Rain is on a permanent timer for 6 turns. Unfortunately, Surf always kills me here, which I calced. Modest Surf does 73 minimum, so Sneasler goes down. We go into RILLABOOM, which I also calced this in the battle. Grassy Glide does 38 minimum always, so we are able to confirm that kill. They go into Raging Bolt, which reveals to be Grassy Seed, which is really shitty. It's going to make this a lot harder. I go right into Chiyu to just hit this thing as hard as I can as they Calm Mind. And Snarl actually comes in clutch here, lowering the special attack. I take a fuck ton from Thunderbolt anyway. And here, it would have been pretty reasonable to hard switch and keep the body, but I end up sacking because Thunderclap still kills. Go Garg and I Salt Cure on their Calm Mind so we can get the timer running. And then here, I get the play right and Salt Cure again on the Calm Mind instead of Protecting. So now their shit's ticking down. I go for Protect to get more chip. It works out. They need 2 more turns. And I get lucky with a double Protect here. So now that they confirm die the next turn. But here I make a horrible play. I Protect again. as I live Dragon Pulse when recovering was always the play. And it's going to show you why, because now Ogerpon can just come in and click knockoff for free, which it would not have been able to do with had I just recovered. So Garg goes down, and now it's time for Rillaboom to hopefully clutch this game up. I go, and I insta crit the Grassy Glide, which is so clutch. Completely mixed up for my shit misplay. They end up being Grassy Seed Espeon, but Grassy Glide does so much damage. The Morning Suns are not going positive in HP. They're still losing HP every turn. I get a disgusting 65 and a 75% roll here. And then luckily, thanks to the crit, I have one more turn of Grassy Terrain to get the kill and win week 3, making me 3-0, which is really exciting. So I felt bad about this crit because I misplayed, and I mean, winning feels good, but it feels less good when you hacks. So I ended up running some numbers to see how much it really mattered. So first calc, Rillaboom on the Ogerpon. Had Ogerpon clicked Power Whip in the Grassy Terrain, it does 45 to 54, which is always enough for Espeon's Psychic to kill me the next turn. But like even with min rolls, unless like I think maybe unless they get super min rolls, and maybe Grassy Terrain puts me at enough HP to live, but they pretty much always kill with that combination of moves. If they knock off, they do 38 to 45. Rillaboom gets 2 turns of Grassy Terrain, and then we pretty much will always live Psychic. Not always, but it depends on the roll. If they mid-roll knockoff, then we always live high-roll Psychic. And U-turn into Grassy Glide will always kill it. Woodhammer, if we are not banded, doesn't always kill, and Woodhammer we would die to recoil, so that's why I would say U-turn into Grassy Glide pretty much always kills, barring like super min rolls. So that's the idea. Like it's close. It's still super close. But I do think the odds are in my favor to still win in the end, unless of course they Power Whip. In which case I get fucking fried. So yeah. I don't know. I should have asked what their moves were, so maybe I could, sleep better at night. But it is what it is, So we go 3-0, which is very exciting. Hopefully, I can maintain this streak. I'm doing better than I really expected for my, first serious draft league. If I happen to go like all the way in this, that would be ecstatic. Also, it'd mean more videos, so that's cool too. Anyway, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, all that shit, and I will see you next week.